Good afternoon, YouTube world. Today is going to be a good day. We are taking the dogs to the vet for their vaccinations. Taking all three because we get a discount if we bring them together. And we did have plans to go to a bonfire at our friend's tonight, but now it's supposed to rain. It's kind of a gloomy day. The temperature isn't bad, but it's windy and it's cloudy. So fingers crossed that, you know, the Manitoba Weather Network is wrong because, I mean, 50% of the time they are. I think what they do is they just take this dartboard and they throw darts at what the weather might be that day, and then they just broadcast it. I'm fairly certain that that's what they do, and they get paid for that. So, I mean, that's the ideal job. I'd love that. One thing is for sure today, though. I'm gonna make cabbage borscht. I'm gonna show you how. It's so easy, it's ridiculous, especially if you have a crock pot. We're gonna head on outside and check on Josh. He is currently destroying some trees and he's using a chainsaw, and I've been inside this whole time cleaning up and cleaning myself up. Gotta make sure he's still got all his limbs and appendages and all that fun stuff, so let's go check on him. Good news! He's still alive. All digits intact, all limbs.
They're supposed to be dead?
Well, you were using a chainsaw alone, and I mean, you are your father's son, so you shouldn't be unsupervised.
Hi.
You guys are accident prone. I'm my mother's daughter. Have you seen how many injuries she's had? It's terrible. You don't let them use power tools alone.
Wearing my safety spectacles.
Safety spectacles. And your safety toes.
Yep.
Very nice. Oh wow, you made quick work of that big tree.
Yep.
We gotta get this ugly thing down. Can you guys see it? Sorry about the wind, everybody. We gotta get this big tree that fell down last season, or last year. It was a dead tree. It was way up there, fell over onto this thing. And we're gonna tear down this. It used to have goats in it, actually. It used to be a goat house. We're gonna tear down the goat house. I think eventually we're gonna put like lilac bushes and things for privacy. All this wood to split. Woo! This is gonna be fun. We got a new log splitter, everybody. And there she is, in all her glory, stand and all.
She's beautiful.
Wow. Want to show them how it works?
I do, yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Just as easy as that. Super easy to use. I like using it even. And I'm scared of power tools, so that tells you a lot about this log splitter. This one's a 4-ton. We got it at Princess Auto on for a really good deal. Wiener, you excited about going to the vet? You have no idea what that means, do you? Chevy, are you excited too? Diesel, how about you? We gonna go get some neatos?
Excited? You look excited.
And a husband's coming too.
Yeah, she's bringing me with for my shots.
Yeah, rabies, things like that.
Yep.
Diesel, are we all loaded up? Chevy, what are you doing down there? He's super nervous whenever he rides in this truck. Frankie's in the middle on his Tinkerbell towel. You're a little whimsical.
Fitting.
Very. You're a little girly at times. Hey? You ready? All right, let's go. We're here. Who's excited? I can tell you who's not excited. Frankie! Because he knew exactly where we were going as soon as we got onto the gravel. Hey, buddy. He's been here way too much in the last little while. But for good reasons today. A clean bill of health for all.
Just gotta lose a few chunks on the big guys.
The whole family needs to get into shape.
Me too.
Me 3. Well, me 5. Frankie, you need to lose about a ½ pound. Diesel and Chevy each need to lose about 5, so Oh, thank you for the kiss. So we're gonna cut back the food a wee bit, and we won't talk about how much mom and dad have to lose. So as suspected and told before, Frankie has a wee bit of arthritis in his rear right leg, but we already knew that and it's not detrimental. And he also needs his teeth cleaned again next year because they're getting quite bad. Stage 4 gum disease to be expected. And absolutely nothing to report on Diesel and Chevy. So it was a good day. Not nearly as expensive as we expected, so that
much
made us
less
help.
expensive, much less expensive than past times.
Man, you're Englishing as well as I am today.
I don't know, I don't speak English really.
Much less expensive than we expected, so we are happy with the turnout. There's some English, we just had to slow down.
You should talk real slow.
Real slow. Boys are all looking good, fit as a fiddle. You fit as a fiddle? Healthy boys. Come on. The vet said you need to lose some weight. Let's get running. Are you happy? Happy to be home, covered in grass already. He's not used to wearing a collar. He got a new superhero tag from Tags of Hope today. He's not used to this. So it's the next day, and Wiener had a rough night. We didn't get around to the borscht making because we had a little bit of an emergency, or what I thought might be an emergency. He was crying last night. Turns out that his injection site of where he got his distemper booster at the vet yesterday really started to swell up and cause him some pain, so he was crying out a lot yesterday every time I pick him up. Luckily, I have some Medicam on hand, which is like doggy Advil. He took that when he had his neck issues. So I called the vet and asked what dosage to give and asked if pain at an injection site was common. And apparently it's not all that common, but it can happen. I looked it up online as well before I asked them. And yeah, it does happen. He's been through a lot in the last 6 months or in this past year. So it's kind of to be expected that, you know, his body's changing. He's getting older too. So he'll be okay though. He's got some Medicam in his system now. Hey, Wiener? Yeah. He'll be all right. All right, guys. Can you guess what time it is? It's borscht time. Excited. So easy to make. It's ridiculous. Got all my ingredients laid out for you guys to clearly see. Got dill weed, ground black pepper, bay leaves. You want 1 or 2 of these. Just a pinch of black pepper, or a few pinches. Quite a bit of dill weed, dried out. Ham bone base. This is not something that you need to put in. I just really like the flavor of it, and it's really hard to find in stores. I've never been able to find it. I actually bought this from a restaurant that I used to work at. And we put this into all of our soups, and it adds a really good flavor. This ham bone, I guess it's like bouillon, but I can't find anything but chicken and beef in stores, so that's not a necessity. I just like to add it. Also got farmer sausage here. Now, Josh and I really like the taste of the Mennonite style sausage, but I don't know that you can find this anywhere but the Bible Belt of Manitoba, so regular farmer sausage will do fine. Got a few potatoes here. I don't eat that part. I pick out my potatoes, so I don't put a lot in. A couple cans of tomato soup. Can of diced tomatoes. No seasoning in that one. No salt added. A few carrots. You don't need to go overboard. Head of cabbage. I usually don't put the whole thing in. And about half an onion. Half a yellow onion. So basically, you cut everything up. You throw it into the pot. I have an awfully big crock pot. It's an 8-quart that my mother-in-law got me a couple of Christmases ago. It goes to very good use. If you have a smaller one, just cut the recipe in half. No big deal. Once you've poured in the tomato soup though, make sure that you pour in a couple of cans of water as well, or else your soup is going to be very hearty and not very soup-like. So let's dice the onion, dice the cabbage, wash it, peel the carrots, dice them up. Wash the potatoes. I don't peel the potatoes. Most people do. I like skin on potatoes. I also think it's a lot healthier that way, even though I don't eat them. Better flavor in my opinion. And the first things that you throw in are the soup, the water, and the meat. And then you just proceed to throw everything else in. 1 or 2 bay leaves, do not eat them, throw them out after. I've been told that they are toxic, so be careful with that. Just peeling the carrots into my little compost container here. Now, as far as I know, this is a classic German cabbage borscht. There's also Polish borscht. I grew up with that too. My mom didn't make it, but I grew up with it with some friends. My mom's half Polish though, but that includes beets, so that's a beet borscht. This is a German borscht. There are no beets in there. There's also another borscht that I know how to make called Sama borscht, which is a Mennonite borscht. So there are many different variations. Sama borscht is more of a cream based, at least the way I make it, it is. A lot of dill, a lot of farmer sausage. They all contain some similar ingredients, but I also cut things in my borscht a little smaller than some people would. I like smaller bite-sized pieces, whereas, for instance, my mother... Uh-oh. Do you want a little piece of carrot skin? Frankie earned it. He's in pain today. Whereas my mother, for instance, she cuts things up a little bigger. Her potatoes are bigger. You got one too. Her sausage chunks in the borscht are bigger. I like them smaller, so I mean, it's all up to you. Personal preference. Go for it. I used to hate cabbage borscht growing up. My mom always, well, not always, but often made it. I hated it. And then I started working at Diner on 52. And we had a cook that made some of the most amazing soups. And because she was always making cabbage borscht, and the restaurant always smelled like it, I started craving it all the time. So now I make it at home because it's cheaper than buying it at a restaurant, and it's easy. It's time consuming, there's a lot of ingredients, but as long as you have the ingredients, it's easy. Starting to add in the ingredients. So I put both cans of tomato soup in there and 3 cans of water. I thought I had a 3rd can of tomato soup in my pantry. Apparently I didn't. So it's going to be a little thinner than last time I made it, but that's okay because it was actually too hearty last time. Don't drain your tomatoes, folks. That adds extra tomato flavoring. Now I've added in all the veggies, all the meat, all the soup, and keep in mind, I mean, this looks really, really hearty right now. I mean, the actual soup is under all that. So it looks like it's way too much right now, but keep in mind that onion and cabbage boil down to pretty much nothing. Like, they're almost translucent by the time they're done cooking. And you want to cook this on high for at least a couple hours if you're using a crock pot. And then afterward, I mean, you want to turn it down for 4 to 6 hours. I mean, you can pretty much let this go as long as you want. But you want to cook this for about 4 to 6 hours after that. And as long as your meat's cooked and your potatoes are soft, your carrots are soft, and you're happy with the consistency, I mean, as you're going, you can always add in an extra can of tomato soup. That's the thing about these kind of recipes, stews and borscht and things like that. There is no measuring. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just adding in dill. I'm eyeballing everything. Old European cooking, generally speaking, you don't use measuring spoons or measuring cups or anything like that. You just go. You go according to smell and look and desired consistencies and things like that. And then if you're happy with it, good. If not, you add in more. Before I forget, when you're done all your spices, put the lid on, guys. This is like cooking for dummies. I'm not calling you guys dummies. I'm just saying when I started, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I missed very, very crucial but simple steps in all my recipes, and it's all about trial and error. It's a learning curve. Not only will it create a huge mess if you don't put on your lid, but it'll take much longer to cook, and you want that stuff to cook down so that you have soup instead of just like a casserole basically right now. There it goes. Like I said, about 2, even 3 hours on high, and then another like 4 to 6 on low. Clearly you're feeling better. You must be feeling good. You've got lots of carrots already. The vet said to lose weight, but I'm a sucker. I'm your mom, right? Well, my sweet weasel, is it time for you to go back to work and leave Mom? I'm gonna miss you. I always miss you whenever you're gone. Yeah. You take care of Dad, okay?
Daddy, should I take you? Do you want to go on a trip? You're going to stay home with Mom.
He's got to think on it.
Come get it. Get it. Get it. I want to hit you in the face. I want to hit you in the face. Why can't you get it? 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 He doesn't trust me anymore. Oh, we got it. You wanna go? You wanna go on a trip? Me and you. Two dudes out in the wild. You know?
There you have it, guys. It's nearly ready. Another 2 hours or so on low, and it should be good to go. Tasted the broth, it's good. Unfortunately, it won't be ready in time for Josh to try.
Time to go to work.
But the great thing about borscht, it's freezable. I'll freeze you some.
I'm actually looking forward to that when I get home.
It's gonna be delicious. Dad's looking forward to it too. Every time he hears I'm making borscht, I have to freeze him a couple containers. So, good thing I've been keeping my yogurt containers.
Yeah, you've got quite a big crock pot going on here, so.
Change of plans, guys. Weasel's gonna stay home with Mom. He doesn't want to go this time. Who's gonna go? Who's gonna go? Frankie, you gonna go? Nope. Chevy! You sit? You sit nice? Chevy. He's too excited. Not gonna happen.
Chevy, you gonna come with me?
You gonna stay with Mom? Yeah. Okay.
You come with me? Yeah?
Yeah, he doesn't want to go this time.
Okay.
Oh my. Excited. Anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to leave you now. So have a great night, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give me the old thumbs up. And turn on that bell if you want to know when I post a vlog. Have a good night.